We've got new information on NASCAR's next media rights deals, and fans aren't going to be happy. These new developments in the NASCAR media rights deal are going to have some fans angrier than Tony Stewart in his prime. They're going to be like Kevin Harvick at Bristol in 2002. They're going to be furious because according to Sports Business Journal, NASCAR will have not one, but two streaming partners on their next media rights deal in 2025 and beyond. Those two partners being Amazon Prime and Max. Warner owns Max. They own Bleacher Report, everything like that. They want to try to boost up their profile, so they've apparently entered the fold. And it will go from what was originally speculated to be 6 races in the summer to now being a 10-race deal as NASCAR attempts to sweeten the pot for both of these streaming services. So that means starting in 2025, if you want to watch the NASCAR Cup Series, you're going to have a cable subscription to be able to access Fox Sports 1 and USA. You'll also have to be able to get regular network television, which if you have a cable subscription, you can for Fox and NBC. You'll also have to have a streaming service with both Amazon Prime and on Max. And I'm going to go ahead and assume that there will more than likely be a race on Peacock as well. So you're going to subscribe to 3 streaming services, cable, and you'll still have to watch the races that are going to be on network, which are probably going to be few and far between as we get to 2025. Right now, NASCAR is finishing up the final year of their current media rights deal in 2024, which pays them about $8.2 billion over the course of 10 years, so around $820 million a year. They're going to be looking to up that yearly payment in 2025 and beyond. And they more than likely tried to sweeten this deal for the streaming platforms because they couldn't milk any more money out of Fox and NBC. So the solution here was to cut back a couple races from each of those broadcast partners and then give them as part of the streaming rights deal, knowing that these streaming partners would overpay for that content as they try to attract new subscribers that aren't already on their platform. And that's what the idea is for them to pay more for these same races that Fox and NBC are like, we're not going to pay that much more. Fox and NBC are probably going to pay a bit more on a per race basis, but not to the level that I think NASCAR would have liked to have seen, and not to the level that the streaming partners more than likely are going to pay. So that's why that is happening. Is it annoying? Yeah, there's going to be a lot of old NASCAR fans that are more annoyed with this than like when they try to use an Etch-a-Sketch. They're not going to be happy about it at all. And I don't blame them in a sense, but NASCAR at the same time, the same way that both Max and Prime want to use NASCAR to try to attract new subscribers, NASCAR wants to use both of those platforms to put their product in front of a group of subscribers that are already on those platforms that currently don't have access to NASCAR because they don't have a cable subscription, they don't have access to network TV, something like that. And that's really what the main reason NASCAR is looking at that. Sure, money is the end all be all here. NASCAR wants more money. But when you look at it, Amazon says that by 2025, 90 million households in America will have access to Prime. And with Prime, you also get Prime Video, or they'll have already signed up for Prime Video. Currently, the amount of American households that are subscribed to cable flirts around 50 to 47 million. So you're looking at nearly double the audience, essentially, putting your product on Prime. And right now, we see the Thursday Night Football games on Prime. And I see a lot of people being like, I don't want to watch football on Prime. You're right. Why would you want to watch a crystal clear picture? I'd much rather watch the race on Fox in 720. No, we absolutely want it to go to Prime because it's going to look better. They're going to put effort into it. Everything's going to feel new, which is going to make fans happy for a year or two before they get annoyed at that because they get annoyed at everything. They're like the Kieran Culkin of sports fans. They seem all happy and like, oh, you get along with this guy, and then they stink, and then you just want to Kendall Roy and shove him off into the Hudson. Doesn't matter. That's a complete side tangent. The Max portion of it is the bigger concern that I have. Because right now, not that many people are subscribed to Max. Sure, Max has a good base. They make money. Well, they try to make money. They just write a lot of taxes off. But right now, the current base subscription to Max, ad-free, is like $17 a month. And then starting in 2024, if you want access to the sports content that's on there as well, the hockey, the TNT, NBA hockey, and I believe TBS with baseball as well, you'll have to pay an additional add-on fee. So you're looking at asking NASCAR fans for anywhere between $20 and $25 a month just in a Max subscription. And you heard me at the beginning say that this is a 10-race stretch. That means that there's more than likely going to be 5 on each one. We'll just go ahead and assume here that that's what this is going to be. And right now you're going 5 weekends. There's only 4 weekends in a month, so that means you're going to have to pay for each of these subscription services for 2 months. Fans aren't going to be happy about that either. They're going to be very angry. Going back to the whole Kendall Roy and Roman Roy thing, they're going to be out here like Logan Roy screaming at their computers trying to get NASCAR's attention. Not going to work. So that's the concern that I have, is how much it's going to cost some of these fans to be able to tune in and watch. And I've already posted this on TikTok and seen a bunch of fans that are like, I'm done with NASCAR. And they probably said the same thing for the last 20 years, and they'll more than likely be here. But that is a major concern, is that lack of access to the product. But at the same time, NASCAR's like, well, we're making more money. And the teams are like, well, we're making more money, and we'll see what happens with sponsorship here. But I can only assume that the reason they're doing this and going to a 10-race streaming service schedule, in a sense, is that they're getting more money, and then they can go and turn to teams and be like, you're getting a bigger chunk of the pie, because we know that your sponsors aren't going to pay you as much on a per race basis for races that are on the streaming platforms, because they're not going to be seen by as many eyes as they would on cable or network. So I think that this is going to work out well for the teams. It might not work out well for the fans, because like I said, you're going to have cable, Max, Prime, probably Peacock at some point, and then also access to network television, which, again, if you have cable, you'll get that. So it's a lot of things to do to just be able to watch one series. It's a lot. It's like being a baseball fan and being like, I got to subscribe to 17 different streaming services just to watch my team play. The other big question I have is about the schedule, right? If this is a 10-race schedule, where does that fit in? We keep hearing it's going to be in the summer. So does that mean that Fox's portion of the schedule is going to end at the Coke 600 at the end of May on Memorial Day weekend, and then NBC is not going to pick it up until the first weekend in August? That would be very odd, but it does seem like that could be in play here. That also means that NBC would have to give up that coveted 4th of July date, and honestly, I don't see them doing that. But the only way that they can is to make this work. It would be absolutely bonkers for NASCAR to be like, well, race 3 of the season is going to be on Prime, race 7 on Max, race 13 on Prime, and then we'll do a summer stretch here, and then, maybe a race or 2 at the beginning of the playoffs could be on one of them as well. That would be absolutely insane. Having said that, I could absolutely see them doing that, which is the scary part, unfortunately. So there's a lot of questions that are around this. Adam Stern said that NASCAR could announce their next media rights deal next week at the banquet in Nashville. We'll see if that happens, but for now, there's a lot of fans that aren't going to be happy about this, and I can't say that I blame them, especially the older fans. I know anybody like under the age of 40 will be perfectly fine with this, right? And if you're smart and you want to sign up for a free trial of either Prime or Max, you can have a couple disposable email addresses ready to go. You can kind of watch it for free. Or, there's other ways that you can do it. Not saying that you should do that, but you know what I'm talking about. So let me know in the comments. Are you excited about this? I already know the answer to. That's a rhetorical question. But let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on TikTok @BreakHard, Instagram and Twitter @BreakHardBlog.